Welcome to Barnstable Today. I'm Nick Cortez. Just a reminder that you can view full-length episodes of this program and all of the meetings we cover online. Just visit the town's website at town.barnstable.ma.us. On Tuesday evening, the Barnstable Municipal Airport Commission held its regular monthly meeting. Some key decisions were made, including the approval of the final plan to finance the new airport terminal. Before the vote, Commissioner Donald McGathlin explained that the plan proves the Airport Commission can pay for the project and still keep a balanced operating budget.
So we feel that with this, we can certainly easily afford the terminal. The only remaining question is the idea that we need to provide collateral or some type of guarantee in the event that the $13 million from MAC is not appropriated. We don't think that is going to happen, but again, we need to be prepared for the worst case scenario, and we will be meeting with town officials to give ideas on how we can provide collateral and guarantees to that $13 million, to the debt service for that $13 million. So in summary, we think the pro forma is satisfactory, and it certainly easily identifies that we can afford to move ahead with this project.
As for how the new financing plan works, Airport Manager Bud Brialt gave us a synopsis of its major points on Wednesday's episode of Barnstable This Morning.
Well, the key issue is that we have a nice reserve cushion. We have a reserve right now of about little over $8 million, which we've been working for years to build up for this purpose. About $3.2 million of that would be set aside in our operating and capital reserves, and the remainder would be used to help fund the project. There would be a bond that would be paid for by the use of user fees, and again, last night the Airport Commission took another step forward, and they approved us applying to the FAA to implement a $2 per ticket user fee on passengers who in plane from Hyannis on aircraft. And that alone should bring in a significant amount of money over time, and that we would be using those fees, and that another user fee was imposed on the rental car daily ticket, if you will, and those two fees by themselves should pay for one of our bonds. So that, and combined with a large review of all of our fees and our fee structure at the airport, which hasn't been done in years, and then implementing a few modest changes, we should be able to finance all of this, the terminal, the access road, and even with some federal grants that we're getting, also the air traffic control tower.
So it's basically the main tactic then is just a readjustment of fees and the implementation of a couple of different user fees, the PFCs that we've read about in the newspapers. If you
right, the PFC, what they call it, it's called a PFC, it's passenger facility charge, and the other one is a CFC for it's a facility charge for the use of rental cars. So between the two, we would have enough money to pay off one of our bonds that we're anticipating using. Whereas before we did that, we would be using our reserves to help pay for that, or our other revenues, which would make it a little bit more difficult. But this way around, it gives us a comfort zone, if you will, and it also allows us to end the year with a net operating profit, or increase in our reserves, so we're in a very positive position.
As Airport Manager Brialt said, the Airport Commission also approved a $2 per passenger user fee and a similar charge for rental cars in order to cover a significant portion of the new terminal's costs. At the meeting, Commissioner McGathlin talked about that difficult decision.
Originally, we had recommended a PFC of $1.90. Then it was changed by BMAC to $1. And as a result of the financial pro forma, which we just voted upon, we felt it was necessary to increase the PFC from $1 to $2, and the vote on that was unanimous. Once again, we had a very eloquent plea by Scott Lafarge from Island Airlines to keep it at $1. We listened very carefully. We listened to his concerns. We were sympathetic and sensitive to the fact that he's had a significant reduction of employees. He's had a reduction of benefits. And obviously Nantucket is going through this recession in a very difficult way, in that they had only 12 building permits, new residential building permits in 2009. But we felt that the Steamship Authority has an embarkation fee of $1. We felt that 65% of the employments are commuters who get a discount, and that the disparity between the Steamship Authority and the 3 airlines is roughly a $25 difference, and that was not a significant difference which would deter people from taking the airlines. And in the final analysis, even though we had great understanding for the plight of island airlines, we felt that the greater importance was to support the terminal, and how important that was to the terminal. And the fact that so many airports in New England do have PFCs, and in fact Martha's Vineyard has Nantucket has a PFC, although it's limited in scope. But we're one of the few airports that don't have a PFC, and obviously we need to have these funds to support our terminal. In fact, it's being used to support the debt service of the general obligation bond. And we also felt that Nantucket, even in a downturned economy, still is an extremely upscale market, and in fact the homes in 2008 were the highest of all of the 15 counties in Massachusetts, of over $1 million. It was a difficult decision. We were very sympathetic to Scott Lafarge, but in the final analysis we did vote to support the PFC in the amount of $2.
In addition to the big decisions that were made, Commissioner John Griffin of the Infrastructure Subcommittee gave an update on the progress of 2 additional projects, one being Cape Air's plan to install a solar array on the roof of its offices, and the construction of a new air traffic control tower.
Had an item for Cape Air plans for the roof repair and the solar installation. And we had a group from Cape Air, and we basically, they've got a start date, timeline start date is in next month and completion in July. We want to make sure that they have proper insurance certificates for all the projects, and we got a rundown from their engineers on any change in overall roof height, a little bit about how the solar panels, the photovoltaic panels are going to work, and the motion to approve, and we approved unanimously and recommend to the full commission for approval on that project. Next item was the air traffic control tower and the aft hill process, and we had a briefing from Assistant Manager Sanchez. He had been down to the airport facilities terminal integration lab down there, which is down in Atlantic City. And it's quite an interesting thing, and Frank, if he wants to fill us in a little bit, he can, but it's full 3D simulation where you stand there and you look, and you can put a tower just about anywhere you want, and height you want, and it'll give you sight lines, instructions, everything. It was pretty interesting. No action was taken, but it was a very, very interesting briefing. We're still up to the point where we need to select an architect and engineering company for the new tower.
As far as other meetings are concerned, the only one left on the agenda this week is tonight's Town Council meeting, which begins at 7 o'clock in the Town Hall hearing room. Well, that's all the time we have for now. I'm Nick Cortez saying we'll see you next time on Barnstable Today.